guys, we are on lesson 15, and today we are going to be working on, let me go to the slide that says the I can statement, understanding how to decompose in order to subtract. So how to subtract and how to use subtraction in word problems. I'll put that in some kid-friendlier terms. Okay, so we're going to get my pointer ready. Sorry, Miss Collins, got to get this situated. Pointer ready. Here we go. Okay, so let's look at this. We're just going to start by saying this number. This number is 4,598. What number is in the tens place? What is that digit? That is a 9. Okay, how much is that 9 worth? That 9 is worth 90. Okay, what is the value of the 4? What is the value of the 4? That 4 is in the thousands place, so that 4 is worth 4,000. What is the value of the 5? That 5 is in the hundreds place, so that 5 is worth 500. All right, good review. All right, should we write a subtraction sentence like this? Horizontally or vertically? Okay, so horizontal is like this, side by side. Vertically is up and down. Which way should we write it? Well, when we're solving a math problem and it does not involve regrouping, some kids may be able to do the subtraction in their head when it's horizontal. But as you get older and we get to where we are subtracting bigger and bigger numbers, Miss Collins says you need to write the math problem up and down to subtract so that if you have to regroup, it's easier to do that. All right, yesterday we started converting centimeters. And so if we count by centimeters, 20 centimeters would be 20 centimeters, 40 centimeters, 60 centimeters, 80 centimeters, 100 centimeters. Okay, when we get to 100, now we're going to convert it to 1 meter. So 1 meter and 20 centimeters, 1 meter and 40 centimeters, 1 meter and 60 centimeters, 1 meter and 80 centimeters. And then instead of saying 200, we're going to say 2 meters. Okay. So that's just a little counting by centimeters. And now we're going to work on an application problem. When the amusement park opened, the number on the counter at the gate read 928,614. I'm writing that on my paper right now. If you have your notebook with you and beside you, go ahead and write that on your paper, 928,614. At the end of the day, the counter read 931,000. Ooh, that number's bigger. So that number really needs to be written on top of the other number, 931,682. How many people went through the gate in that day? So let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, we're going to go down here to my ladybug. And I'm going to change my brightness. There we go, and zoom in. All right, so these are the two numbers. This was the end of the day, and this was the start of the day. Okay, the start of the day is definitely smaller. So if I think about it like a number line, or like a number line, okay? At the beginning of the day, we were at this number, 928,614. By the end of the day, we were at this number, 931,682. And my question, we're still a little bright. Let me see if I can fix it. There we go. My question is, what's the distance in the middle of these two numbers? How many people came through the gate that day? So to do that, I need to subtract. Okay, because I need to see what the difference is between these two numbers. And when I'm finding the difference, I am subtracting. 2 minus 4. That 4 is bigger than the 2. I can't do that. I'm going to cross out my 8, make that a 7. This is now 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 7 minus 1 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. 1 minus 8. Oh no, I can't do that. 8 is bigger than 1. I need to go to my 10 thousandths place and regroup a 10. which when I regroup that 10, it's going to be 11. Okay, 11 minus 8 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. 9 minus 9 is 0. So the number of people who came through the gate that day was 3,068 people that came through the gate. Now, if I want to double check to make sure my answer is correct, I'm going to start with 928,614, and I'm going to add 3,068. 4 plus 8 is 12. 6, 7, 8. 6 plus 0 is 6. 8, 9, 10, 11. 2 plus 1 is 3. 931,682. It matches my original number where I started at the beginning of the day. So I know I did that math correctly. All right, let's go back here, present again, get my pointer ready, and here we go. All right, so this shows exactly what we just did. They showed the picture a little bit different than the number line, and that's okay. There are lots of ways to do a picture. So they showed the total number of people coming through the gate is 931,682. That's the total number on the counter. They showed that at the beginning of the day, 928,614 was already on the counter. So this A is my unknown number that I'm trying to figure out. 3,068 people went through the gate that day. We did that correctly. Okay, so now we're going to regroup multiple times. And I am writing down this number as I say it on my notebook, 253,421. You should be writing it down as well. Minus 75,832. So as I wrote it, you can go ahead and write it. Sorry. Okay, so we said that problem. Let's draw a tape diagram. Okay, so what is the big amount? The whole number, if we're drawing a tape diagram. The whole number is 253,421. We can put that at the top of our tape diagram. Let's hit that. Okay. Go back. Okay, it doesn't show us the tape diagram, so I thought it showed it on the next page. Let me just pull up my ladybug, and I must have X'd out, sorry, so that I can show you. Come on. Okay, there it is. All right, so here we go. So I have 253,421. This is my tape diagram here, and I'm subtracting 75,832. So the small part is 75,832, and I'm trying to figure out this unknown part, this part right here that we don't know. Okay. All right, another way to draw this that Miss Collins kind of likes to draw it is if I draw the whole like this, 253,421. And then I draw a small part like this, 75,832. I like that better than these parentheses, but whichever way you like it. And then I like having the box right here that matches that same whole, showing that we don't know that part. This is my whole, this is one part, and then this is another part. So either way is fine. Okay. All right. So now let's subtract. Okay, so are there enough ones? No, there are not enough ones. So we're going to have to come over here, do it on your paper just like it did it there to the tens place, and regroup a 10 over to our ones place. Now we have 11 in our ones place. 11 minus 2. Let's go ahead and do that. 11 minus 2 is 9. On your paper, you should be writing 9. Now we're going to look at the tens place. I have 1 minus 3. Okay, so that is, let me get my pointer. I have 1 minus 3. That's right here. Can I do 1 minus 3? No. I cannot do 1 minus 3, so I need to regroup that, okay, because I could not do 1 minus 3, so I'm come over next door to the 4. Go ahead and do that on yours, and that is going to be a 3, and then I regroup my 10 over, and now I have 11, just like you see it right here on your screen. You should be writing it with me. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so is there enough to do 3 minus 8? So we're in this column, 3 minus 8. No. There's not enough, and I'm going to go ahead because I'm just going to show you here. Okay, 3 minus 8 I cannot do. I need to come next door and make that a 2. Regroup my 3 to 13. 13 minus 8 is going to be 5. And when I was talking, I did not do this. 11 minus 3 is going to be 8. Sorry. Switching back and forth, I got myself off one. Okay, 2 minus 5, I cannot do. I need to go next door. Regroup, 10 more. 12 minus 5. 12 minus 5 is 7. 4 minus 7, I cannot do. Go next door. Regroup at 10. 14 minus 7 is 7. Bring down the 1. 177,589. So my missing part here is 177,589. Okay, let's go back to my slides. All right. There we go. There we go. We're going to regroup all the way down just like we did. 177,589. Okay. Now, we have to decompose with a bunch of zeros. This is the trickiest part. So everybody's writing this on your notebook paper. 1,000 minus 528. Everybody is writing that? All right. And we're going to come here to our document camera, and I've got 1,000 minus 528. Let me zoom in. Okay, so I've got nothing to regroup all the way down to my thousands place, and everything on the bottom is more. Okay, so I'm going to come down here to my thousands place, and I'm going to move 10 over to my hundreds place. I have nothing left in my thousands, so I'm going to go and put a 0 there. I still don't have enough for tens. I still don't have enough for 1, so I have to regroup that 10. Now it's a 9. Move my 10 over to my tens place. Now I have enough for my tens place, but I don't have enough for my ones. Regroup my tens. That is now a 9. And then I'm going to come down to my ones place. Whenever we're regrouping like this, the biggest mistake I see kids make is then somehow they'll think, oh, I need to regroup this 10 to a 9. No, we don't. The only reason we regroup that 10 to a 9 is because we needed to move 1 over to the ones place. We don't need to move over. There's nothing over here, so we don't need to regroup again. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 5 is 4. And there's nothing left in my 1,000s place. So my answer is 472. All right, let's go back to our slides. Okay, so here it is in the place value chart. We took that 1,000, we moved it over, now we have 10 hundreds, okay? There's the 10 hundreds above there. We move one of those 10 hundreds over to the tens place. Now we have it 10 tens in the tens place for that 100. We move it over, okay? And then we need to move 1 over to the ones place. Now we have 10 in the ones place. Now we can subtract, okay? So 10 minus 8 is going to be 2, 9 minus 2 is going to be 7, and 9 minus 5 is going to be 4. Okay, so now we're going to do this again, but now we're getting even bigger. I'm going to write this number on my piece of paper, making sure that I line up the ones with the ones and the tens with the tens. I've got 1 million, and then I'm lining up that 8, 2, 5, 4, 3. I started at the ones place, working my way backwards to line that up to write that equation. Let me come down here. All right, here's this equation. We're going to subtract. Okay, so we are going to have to move that 10 over multiple times. Okay, so I'm going to come all the way down here to my millions place, okay? That millions place is now gone, and I move that million over to my 100,000. Okay. Now, from the 100,000s place, I'm going to move over to my 10,000s. I'm going to take one from my 10,000s and move over to my 1,000s. Take one from my 1,000s, move over to my hundreds. Take one from my hundreds, move over to my tens. Take one from my tens and move over to my ones. Remember, this is a 10, not a 9. Some kids will just start writing 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Don't do that, because when we get to the ones place, it's a 10, and there's nothing next door, so I just leave it a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 5 is 4. 9 minus 5 is 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 3 is 6. Okay, so 654,742. Let's go back. present. Okay, so we're going to label this on a tape diagram. We've got 1 million, and the part we know is 345,528, and we have a missing part that we don't know. Okay, we are regrouping just like I just regrouped. We moved over to regroup. Okay, and 654,472 is our answer. All right. So now we're going to solve a word problem. Let me get my pointer ready so that I can show you where I'm reading. Okay, last year there were 620,073 people in attendance at the local parade. This year there were 456,795 people in attendance at the local parade. How many more people? Okay, whenever it says how many more, that's a clue that we are subtracting. How many more people were in attendance last year? Okay, so I'm going to escape. And we're going to write this before I move to my document camera. I've got 620,073 last year and 456,795 this year. I like to draw these on a number line, but I'm also going to draw them in a tape diagram because that is the way that they're drawn there. So here we go. All right, I like to draw them like this. Okay, so last year was 620,073, and that's obviously the bigger number, right? So we're going to put it down here on this end of the number line. And then 456,795 is where we are this year. There's a difference between these two numbers. When we're finding the difference between numbers, we are subtracting, okay? And we have to subtract starting with the biggest number, subtracting the smaller number, okay? Here's another way to draw it. So if I have 620,073, and that's how many I had last year. And this year, I have 456,795. Okay, right here is my difference, okay? And I'm not even going to make it a box. I'm going to do like this because that's the part we're missing. That's the difference between those two numbers. 620,000 is obviously the bigger number. Okay, so we're going to subtract these. All right. And I have 5 is bigger, so I need to come next door. Now, all the way down, the numbers on the bottom are bigger, except for in the 100,000s place. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to go one place value at a time. So I'm going to come over here to the 7. That 7 becomes a 6. I'm going to move 10 over, and now I have 13. 13 minus 5 is 8. 6 minus 9 I cannot do. I come next door, there's a 0. Okay, move over again, there's a 0. Move over again, I'm over here to this 2. Okay, so this 2 is now a 1. This 0 is now a 10. That 10 now needs to become a 9, so I can move 10 over to here. That 10 needs to become a 9 because I have to move 10 right there to my 16 so that I can subtract 16 minus 9. Okay, 16 minus 9 is going to be 7. 9 minus 7 is going to be 2. 9 minus 6 is going to be 3. Now I have 1 minus 5. I can't do 1 minus 5. I need to come over here to my 6. This is now a 5. Move over the 10. 11 minus 5 is 6. 5 minus 4 is 1. I have 163,278. So the difference here is 163,278. The difference here is 163,278. All right, let's go back to present. Okay. All right, so there it is in a tape diagram. All right. And here it is where we subtracted. So here's the math we just did together on the notebook where we had to regroup. Okay, so now we're going to try the problem set, which means I'm going to exit out of here and I'm going to pull up the document camera and we're going to just do a couple Let's do this one down here. It's got some zeros, but it's also got some numbers. And we're just going to practice. It's really hard in this notebook to write it because the numbers are so tiny. I have a hard time writing that small. 8 minus 9. 8 minus 9, I can't do. I'm going to go next door. Regroup. That's now going to be a 4. There we go. This is now 18. 18 minus 9 is 9. Okay, 4 minus 6 I can't do. I'm going to come over here to my 6. That's now 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. 5 minus 5 is 0. 0 minus 2. I can't do that. I need to come all the way down here to my 6. Okay, regroup it. I still don't have enough here in my thousands place, so I need to come back here to my 10,000s place, regroup that. That's now a 9. And then there's going to be 10 in my thousands place. 10 minus 2. Now, I don't need to make this a 9. This is where kids make a mistake. They make that a 9. I don't need to make that a 9. Okay? 10 minus 2 is going to be 8. 9 minus 9 is going to be 0. 5 minus 5 is going to be 0. So my answer is 8,089. All right, let's do it again where we have a 0 in there. Let's see. Let's do this one. Okay, 0 minus 0 is 0. 6 minus 8, I cannot do. Come over here to my 6. It's going to be a 5. This is now 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. 5 minus 9, I cannot do. Come over here to the 1. We're going to regroup that. That's going to be 0. This is 15. 15 minus 9 is 6. 0 minus 9 I can't do. Come all the way down here to my 100,000, sorry. Regroup, there's going to be 10 here, but that's not where I need it. I still have 0 over here in my thousands place, so I'm going to regroup that 10 to a 9. I'm going to come over here, and this is going to be 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 0 is 9. 91,068. All right. So there's a couple of those. Practice subtraction problems. Whoops. And now we're going to try a word problem. So let me zoom in. And let me make this big. It might help you all. There we go. David is flying from Hong Kong to Buenos Aires. The total flight distance is 11,472 miles. If the plane has 7,793 miles left to travel, how far has it already traveled? Okay, so if we draw our total distance, 11,472 miles. That's how long it's going to take us to go from Hong Kong to Buenos Aires. Now, here's my airplane. It's starting here, and it's gone that far. It hasn't gotten all the way to Buenos Aires yet, but it's gone that far. That far is 7,793 miles, and we're trying to figure out this. How much farther is it? This is my variable, my question mark. What is it that is left to fly? So we're going to need to do subtraction because we're seeing how much farther. Oh, I did that backwards. Shoot. It says the plane has that much left, so it still has that much to go. We're trying to figure out how much it's already gone. I'm sorry, you all. I did it backwards, but the math is going to be exactly the same. We're still going to subtract. My picture, here, let me just fix it for you. The top is fine. My picture should look like this. My picture should be like, I don't know how far I've gone yet, but I know I still have 7,793 miles to go. So I just drew it backwards. Okay, so we're still going to subtract though. 11,472 minus. Be sure to line up your ones with your ones, your tens with your tens, your hundreds with your hundreds, and your thousands with your thousands before you subtract, okay? 2 minus 3 I cannot do. We're going to go next door. Okay, get 10 more. That's 12 minus 3. 12 minus 3 is 9. 6 minus 9 I cannot do. Go next door. Get 10 more. That's 13 minus 9. 16 minus 9. 16 minus 9 is 7. 3 minus 7 I cannot do. Now we have 13 minus 7. 13 minus 7 is 6. 0 minus 7 I cannot do. Now we have 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. Okay, let's do one more. Hopefully I won't draw this one funny. Tank A holds 678,500 gallons of water. Tank B holds 905,867 gallons of water. How much less? How much less? So we're figuring out a smaller number, which means we're subtracting. How much less water does tank A hold than tank B? Okay, so if I drew this one, I would do something like, shh, Penny. I would do something like this. Okay, so this would be tank A, this would be tank B. Let's turn it sideways for just a second. Sorry, you all. So this is going to be 678,500. This is going to be 905,867. And what we're trying to figure out is how much more this is than this. So we're trying to figure out this amount in between here. How much is that in between there? How much more is that? So we're going to be subtracting. When we do a word problem, we always do a P. There's my picture. Here's my equation, E. And up here I need to go back and put an answer too. Seven minus 0 is 7. 6 minus 0 is 6. 8 minus 5 is 3. 5 minus 8, no, I cannot do that. I have to come all the way over here because I have a 0 next door. This is going to be 8. This is 10. Now to get where I can regroup so that I have enough to subtract 8, I need to come here, regroup. Now this is 15. Okay, now I can subtract 15 minus 8. Is going to be 7. 9 minus 7 is going to be 2. 8 minus 6 is going to be 2. So it's 227,376 less water. So now I need to answer it. How much less water? So tank A holds 227,367. And we're talking about gallons less of water. Okay, there it is. Sorry, there's my sentence. Okay, you've got this, guys. If you need any help, pop into the meet. Bye.